Hey guys, it's Juice. Today we're going to be going over Radical Highway. This is the first stage of Shadow, and there are lots of little nuances that you have to understand in order to get good at this level. So I'm going to be going through it step by step, similar to how I did with Iron Gate, showing the different methods I see, and overall just trying to help you improve at this stage. This one has a few things that can be tricky, but without further ado, let's get into it. So starting off, immediately, we want to hold B. Holding B lets you grind faster. So as you're coming towards this ramp here, you can hold left and jump off. And hold left and jump off. Just like that. If you don't do that, then you're going to just go forward like this. And while that's not necessarily bad, it saves just a little bit of time to do that. Okay, so I guess let's go over this part. What happens here is you can just do this and then spin dash homing attack cancel right to here. I mean, it doesn't have to be the left side, it could be the right side or the top. But then from here, you could just do the same thing to get past these rings. Once you're past these rings, you can charge a spin dash and you're gonna go down there. One other thing that I see is when people hit this and then they do a frame perfect homing attack and they actually, I can't even do it. What you do is you end up here. You literally end up here and all of your momentum just keeps going. Like, it never stops. You never have to go onto there, and you actually go straight through the bomb explosions because you're ahead of them. Now, I don't do this just because I don't understand the timing for it. I don't think many runners even do this like in actual runs either. It's just IL strat stuff. But for this part, we're just going down. You can go to the left or the right. It doesn't really matter. I go to the left. We just hit all of these. Hold your angle slightly to the right so you can hit the speed pad. Oops. Okay, so I guess I should go over spin dash canceling now. So this is the homing attack cancel, where you hit B after homing attacking. And this is the spin dash cancel, where you just hit B and then hit B again to start up another one. This is really good when you're not going downhill to keep your momentum. And then after that, you can just stay in a ball here, and then once you get past here, you can homing attack cancel. Then just... Actually, from here... Oops. I like to spin dash jump to this thing because it's faster. Homing attack cancel over here. Then homing attack this. And then from here, once you're up here, you're going to charge a spin dash, and you're just going to want to jump on these two boxes. The camera's a little messed up right now, but what this allows you to do is hit him and go around here faster. You notice that when I did that, I changed the camera a little bit with the control stick. I just went to the right and went to the left really quick. That's to prevent the camera from getting stuck. So once again... And that's when you would jump on here, but that enemy's already dead, so we're just going to go up here. Right after this, we just hit this rocket. Easy, easy. So I guess this is where I'm going to explain storage. So normally when you hit B, you go into this somersault state, which allows you to go under stuff like this. Just like this. If you hold B, you go into a spin dash, which will not let you go under stuff like this. So pretty much what you do is the game has to let you go into that state first before you can go into homing attack. So as you're running towards this, you're going to hold B as you're running under it. Watch this timing. And you see how I went under it, and as I ended up on the other side, I was charging a spin dash? That's important. Because that helps with your momentum. So right after this, we're going to charge a spin dash, and we're actually going to start leaning towards the left because we have to jump off of the ledge to completely skip a section of the stage. And you'll see exactly what I do. Pay attention to the input display on the top right to see the angles that I'm jumping at. Just like that. That completely skips all that spring nonsense. So if you notice while I did that, I also wiggled my analog stick to the left and right a little bit. That's just to reset my gravity so that I don't get stuck over in that piece in the center, that thing that was on the right of me. The gravity of that thing will suck you in sometimes if you're not far enough away from it or resetting your gravity. In an A rank mission, you would go to hit that balloon because it gives you the invulnerability or the invincibility, but we don't have to worry about it when we're running at story mode. In fact, it's faster not to hit it. So after this, we're here, right? And these springs right here, we're actually going to want a homing attack and then hold the A button. This will give us the max jump distance we can possibly get with these springs. And what it allows us to do is skip a section. So watch this. Once you're at the apex of that jump, you do a homing attack cancel, and it allows you to get up here. From here, we're going to do a couple spin dashes. Perfect. And then normally, we would hit these 2 springs. So I'm going to go over these 2 springs real quick. Once you're about here, you can see which one of those 2 platforms in the middle are higher or lower. We want to time it so that when we're coming around here on the left or the right, that we're going to be able to reach the top of that thing. When it's at its highest, we're not able to. But the whole goal is to get on top of it with the spring and then jump to the next platform. So we'll wait for it to lower a little bit since we wouldn't be able to hit it now. And then there we go. That was perfect timing there. There is one thing that you can do that completely skips this. Normally, if you're on a fast pace with this level, you would automatically go to the one on the left without ever having to worry about it. And if you can feel yourself being a little bit slower, you would go straight to the right. But if you weren't sure, let's say you weren't paying attention to that, you can come down here, we use storage to skip it entirely. There's actually a spring inside of that box. And because Shadow goes into a certain state when he lets go of the spin dash, he extends his hitbox out just a tiny bit. Enough for his, I'm pretty sure his shoes touches the spring. So it's just enough for us to get up here, and that means we don't have to worry about anything. Now, it's a little bit tougher to do that than just to look on the left and the right, because most of the time you're going to be on pace to go to the left anyway, at least if you're following what I'm saying accurately. No shame in going to the right, though. It really all depends on your pacing. So once we're here, we can just spin dash right there, and that'll bring us to the platform above. Though, there's another thing that we can do that's a little more stylish, and that's doing this. So that's that. I don't know, it's not really that useful, but there's a spring in there. So, once we're at the apex of this rocket, it's going to drop us off. We can't just hold forward, because if we just hold forward, we're going to... Hey, look, it's big. But it's him right there, see? But anyway, yeah, we can't just hold forward, because if we do, I'll show you what happens. Okay, well, normally what would happen... Yeah, okay, so normally what would happen would be that you would grab onto this ledge above. But what I do is I actually wiggle the stick similarly to what we were doing when we jumped off of the ramp in the first place. Well, we jump off of the ramp to the left to skip that whole portion with the springs, is I hold the analog stick and go to the up like this. Because that means Shadow won't go as far forward as he normally would, which would completely prevent, you know, going on top of this Chaos Soda thing. And then you end up right here. Once you end up here, once the rocket drops you off, we're going to charge a spin dash. Here's another, it's going to be another one of those jumps that we do, where we jump off the edge. This time it's going to be to the right, so pay attention to the input display and everything. Going slightly to the right, and then we jump right here in between. That's all we have to do. And then we go to the spring. Okay, so once we're here, there are 2 methods of doing this. One is we just hold forward like this and end up right here. Once we're here, we can kind of just drop down, and we're on the rail. Now, this is another important thing before I get to the other method of landing onto this rail. Because that's the safe way, but I'll show you the other way that I do. So there's this right here, and then once Shadow is grinding up this rail, once you see that the camera switches let go of B. You want to let go of B right there. So that way you don't go too far forward or too far up. Even now it's a little too far up. So I'll show you again. This is the other method. I go around and jump back on. Then I let go of B so that Shadow doesn't go too far forward. Once you're in the air like that, once he's coming up, you start holding B again so that you have a spin dash, and then we're just going to aim forward. Now we use storage to get under there. It's usually a little bit smoother than that, but because you're going so fast, sometimes it can be hard to time. But just like that, you start holding B once you land so that you have storage going under there. Now this part, what we want to do is we actually don't want to hit the speed pads. Like you can, it's not the end of the world if you do, but we're pretty much going to be spin dash canceling our entire way through here. So try to go where the enemies are, but don't hit them. Oh my goodness. So once again, let's go through this area. See, if you do, it's not the end of the world. But after hitting that checkpoint, you can start charging a spin dash, cancel it, jump over here, do the cancel, do a trick off of that ramp, and then start holding B so that after you hit these speed dashes right here, you go into a spin dash. Let it go, do another one of these jumps around. Perfect. And then as soon as you hit that spring, you can just start mashing A. It doesn't matter. So that's that. So after this is done and you're up here, you can just start charging a spin dash. You want to hold this one all the way through and just aim for the spin dashes. Once you're here, you see this shadow right here. I'm sorry. This is an automated section, but you see this shadow right above those two arrows right there. We actually want to jump to the left from there. So like this. So that way we go above there and hit that spin pad early. That completely skips the loop that's behind us. Go into the spin dash again. Hit the two speed pads. This is an automated section. And there we go.
Here we go.
Here we go. So that's Radical Highway bit by bit. I'll show you a couple other strategies. I'll show you a couple other tricks, I guess, that I see some runners do. This isn't mandatory for this run, but this can definitely be used in the actual Dark Story speedrun. This isn't an IL-specific trick. But basically what we're going to do when we go up here is instead of going on the pulley that you see, we're actually going to go past it right where that sign is. We can set this up by doing a couple spin dashes to get over there pretty quick. You have to be careful not to hit this red wall or the little workbench right past the pulley there. You kind of want to go in between them. It's tough to get used to. I'm not like the best at it, but I'll try to show you. Ooh. So I mean, even doing something like that isn't too bad. The camera is set up pretty good for it, so you can start getting it consistently. Just like that, pretty much. Being in this position is pretty good. What you want to do is you want to be pretty much on the edge here, but then have Shadow face this rail. And what we're going to do this is we're going to take all of our horizontal momentum from a normal spin dash, and we're going to turn it into vertical momentum. How we do this, now while you're holding the spin dash button, the B button, you then start holding the A button.
Let's dish these guys.
Then once you're holding it for a little bit of the time, the spin dash is charged up enough, you let go of the spin dash button so that you actually go flying up in the air. And you have to make sure that you're holding A for this. And then once we're at the very peak of this jump, we're going to homing attack cancel in the way of the camera, pretty much. And what this is going to do is we're going to skip way ahead. So I guess I'll just show you. Just like that. Look how far we just skipped. It's got to save at least like 10 seconds. And that's honestly not too hard to do once you get the hang of it. Again, just take a look at the input display once I start going for it. I'll show it again here. We go into this corner. Then start the spin dash in this corner. Yeah, you have to be careful because you don't want to be sent out. It's a specific position. You can be like kind of lenient with it, but if you're holding too far to the left or you're holding too far to the right, you're going to be sent too far into those directions. So that is just something to look out for. There we go again. So yeah, guys, I just wanted to show that one off. I think that it's pretty useful. I like to do it in my runs. If you have any questions about that trick, just let me know in the comments below again. You just have to you can just practice the positioning. You took a look at my input display, I'm assuming. It's pretty specific, but then again, not really once you start practicing it.
Here we go.
Hopefully this Radical Highway guide helped you out a bit. I tried to take it step by step like I said and then show you how it all looks stitched together at the end. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. I would really appreciate that. And if you want to join my Discord or the Sonic Adventure 2 community Discord, I'll leave both links in the description below. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Sayonara!